Welcome, everyone. Today, I'm very excited about this podcast because I have some news, and it's not just any news, it's exciting news, so stay tuned. Welcome to the She Means Business Master Society podcast, where we empower entrepreneurs to thrive in their journey. In each episode, we dive deep into the world of entrepreneurship. We've faced our fair share of challenges, and that's why we've created this space. Here, we will connect with incredible guests, key figures in their fields who have navigated the ups and downs of their entrepreneurial careers. Together, we will share our experiences, insights, and tools that can help you elevate your business to new heights. So, get ready to be inspired, motivated, and equipped with the knowledge you need to succeed. Let's jump into today's episode. Comenzamos. Welcome to the She Means Business Master Society podcast. My name is Jaqueline Andrea. I am a photographer and a personal brand developer. Today, I have a big surprise because I am happy to announce a collaboration that we're going to be talking about. I have my friend Jen Gonzalez with me. Hi, Jen.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing amazing. Thank you.
I'm so excited to have you here.
Thank you.
Trust me, whenever we started talking about this, I got very excited because I've seen this woman in action. But before we go into that, I want you to introduce yourself.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Well, hello. My name is Jen Gonzalez. I am the founder of Heroes Basketball League, and yeah, so I've been here in Las Vegas since 2007. So I consider this home now, and I just have a passion for women and women in sports and bringing us all together.
Beautiful. And also, we want to announce our collaboration with this podcast with Jen and everything she does. What the magic about this collaboration is that we are two completely different worlds, but also that we are merging together. Can you tell us about that?
Yes, so thank you again for having me, and then for this opportunity to collaborate. Because I think, like you said, this our two different worlds is a big vision of mine, is to connect dots and the opportunity to just bring women together. And I think we're going to do that perfectly with this new podcast. And so when I came to you, I was like, hey, I know you're doing amazing things with your podcast. How do you do that? And you're like, let's just do it together.
Yes. I just think that there is so much power in collaboration instead of having two things separate. And whenever you said, yes, I'm all over it, I was like, thanks. Let's go.
Yes. And so again, too, that the fact that you live in this creative media, arts, photography world, and I live and play in this like sports, basketball world, I think that there is an intersection in the fact that we are all women, and there is a connection and an opportunity to not just encourage, empower, but give information and insight to what each other are doing, and then through that support. And I think that's the biggest thing about collaboration, is being able to support each other. And I know that we both have a big heart for that, so I appreciate you.
Yes, and I was telling Jen that also the fact that each woman that goes into sports, and we're going to talk more about that, but that goes into sports is also an entrepreneur themselves. Mm-hmm. And we always talk about entrepreneurs, about personal branding, and each one of them have to create a personal brand in order to get into the sports world. Mm-hmm. So before we get into that, because I want to know more about what you do in your industry and everything, but I want to announce that every time you see this beautiful face in the podcast, we're going to be talking definitely about entrepreneurship, goals, histories, inspiring, everything that we've been talking about in the She Means Business Master Society podcast. So you will see, and I'm going to allow myself to read it, you will see Sports HighlightHER. And that is beautiful. Yes. So just briefly, tell me about the name, because to me it was very powerful whenever you told me that name.
Well, thank you. And so I love play on words. I'm actually, my degree is in journalism. So I don't have this gift in other worlds as far as creativity, but I love to write. And so that play on words with highlight her. And then attaching that sports component to it to identify, hey, this is the world that we are living in. So to sports and highlight her.
Beautiful. I love it. And that is very smart because we're going to highlight her. So we're going to be talking about stories and inspiration and everything about women entrepreneur and sports now. So tell me about what you do.
Oh.
Start now.
Right. Oh, the hats, right? And I know we talked about this. So, I mean, I'm a child of God first. I have a strong belief in my faith. I'm active in our church community. And then I'm a wife. And James is my husband. And then I'm a mother to my two beautiful boys, Jason, Jax.
Oh,
we're a bunch of we're a bunch of J's. I know it's so cliche.
A bunch of J's.
we just started it with James, Jen, Jace, and Jax came, and we're like, well, we have to name Jax because we like the J names.
I love
it. So again, with the names and the words, but yeah, my family and my faith is my core. 100%, and the main motivator for who I am and what I do every single day. I just want to make my God and myself proud, and my family proud. So, amen. So outside of that, as going into things, my role as the Heroes Basketball League founder is mainly operations and logistics. So we have a league that runs on Sunday. It's the only women's basketball league in Las Vegas. We are celebrating our 15 years this year. Wow. So this is a special year, and I think about things coming full circle, and speaking those things into existence. That how it actually started is that when I moved to Las Vegas from Texas, I was like any other person that moves, just looking for things to get into, people to meet. James is an amazing basketball player, so he got into leagues really quickly and started to get asked to play on a bunch of like recreational teams. And so I would tag along, and at each gym and each facility, I would ask, hey, where's the women's league? Because I want to get into that. I want to start meeting people. And every gym I went to told me that they didn't have one, or that they tried one and it didn't work. And so I started to play in the men's leagues with my husband, and they were like, who's this little Asian girl that you keep bringing around? And I'm like, I can shoot, I promise.
I promise I can.
I can
Let me
shoot,
show you.
I could dribble. But after a while, I was like, I can't be the only woman in Las Vegas that wants to play basketball. And so I just mirrored this league off of the men's leagues that I was playing in currently at that time. And what happened is I was at UNLV at that time, and I had let the intramural girls know, hey, I'm going to open up the gym. And we started off with open runs, and more people started to hear about it. And once we got enough girls to make teams, I said, hey, I'm going to make teams. I'm going to get the officials, the scorekeeper. You guys just make your teams and show up, and we'll pay a league fee. And so that was 15 years ago. Wow. We started off with 4 teams. Today, in 2025, we have anywhere between 15 and 20 teams, 2 different divisions, anywhere between 80 and 100 women participating each season. So it's definitely grown, and I'm very super proud of that.
So we want to say that you started all this trend about women in basketball here in Vegas. Can we say that and give you props for that?
I will humbly say that with myself and the involvement of the women that had the desire to play. And anytime, I'm getting a lot of inquiries, and how I funnel them is I always tell them, I was just like you. I was that woman that was just looking to play the sport that they love with other women, because what I found, they were just like me. They were either at 24-hour fitness or at EOS, at places where it's male dominated. Mm-hmm. So, and they're walking into a space where nobody even knows them already. Guys don't want to pass you the ball. I've seen TikToks and Instagrams of like this thing, why are girls at the gym trying to hoop with the guys, Mm-hmm. So to create a safe space for these women was very important to me, because I knew how that felt. And I had my husband with me, so at least I knew if he liked me enough that day, he'd pass me the ball. Right.
Like, okay, I'm marrying you. Why not?
Yeah, that's what our arguments was. It's like, you didn't see me open in the corner?
Like nothing else but basketball in that house.
Right.
That is amazing. And let me tell you, I am coming also from a world that was men dominated. Mm-hmm. So I know the feeling of trying to open doors for women. Mm-hmm. And now in photography, I'm talking about photography, my world, and I notice now that it's a lot of women now, and I want to say that now is female dominated. Yes. So I feel that there's a lot of challenges definitely in how things are at the beginning and being that person that pushed through and tries to really go against the challenges and all the things that comes with it. It's definitely very rewarding, but it's also very hard. So what has been the biggest challenge about it?
The biggest challenge is just the everyday of trying to break down those doors. And I always talk about that there's not a table for women, so we have to make our own table. And so it's like inventing the wheel for women. Basically, right? When you're talking about these industries that are male dominated, it's not a square peg, square hole. Like we have to be very unique in how we cater to women, because men are always going to look at like we're looking for handouts or things like that. So that is the biggest challenge. I would say, like, even just even in conversations, you will feel the disrespect, and even unintentional, intentional, it's potentially condescending. I'm also Asian, I'm Filipino American, as a minority woman, stepping into a sports world. I don't know how many times I'll have communication like on the phone or text message or email, and then we'll meet and they're like, I'm looking for Jennifer Gonzalez, and I'm like, that's me. Hey, and again, I don't know what they're expecting, but I don't think they're expecting the 5-foot Filipino woman, that's running this basketball league that's been going on for 15 years. So the honor and privilege to kind of break those barriers on that scale is something that I take a lot of pride in. And like you said, to be able to pioneer that. So we're pioneers.
Let's go, girl. I love that.
And it's funny because you don't even when we talk about visions and things like that, that wasn't my intention, and it's...
You just wanted to play basketball.
That's it. I wanted to play basketball. And then it's funny whenever you have your heart open and your eyes open and your ears open to acknowledge challenges and go, I might not be the only one experiencing this. And if I can overcome, I can empower other women to overcome whatever it is that I'm going through. So.
Wow. And I'm sure that feels on your heart completely right, because once you put your passion in it, as you said, it's like, I'm passionate about this, but I also find out that there's a little hole there that I don't like. Right. Let me change it. So let's go backwards in time. So right now we are present time. Let's go backwards, like towards when Jen started playing basketball. Why basketball? I mean, it's not something that, you just play.
Right. And so I grew up in Texas. So again, too, only Filipino American. But my dad, shout out dad.
Ooh, go dad.
Loved basketball. And he actually coached a traveling Phil-Am team when we were in Texas. It was a men's basketball team, and as a young child, we traveled with this team. And so I was around tournaments, I was around it all the time. And then he was an official, he was refereeing. He was actually an aircraft mechanic. He served as a civil worker for the military, building helicopters. He retired. He had
He was a brain. He is the brain.
He traveled all over the world being able to build helicopters for the military. And so he's a very amazing man that loved basketball. In his side time, because he loved basketball so much, that's what he did. He coached. And I remember one time when I was little, I was shooting, and he came up to me and he was like, when did you learn how to shoot? And I'm like, Dad, you take me to the gym all the time. I'm around it all the time. And I just picked it up really naturally, and I loved it as well. And so I loved the culture, the sport, how it's an integrity builder, it's a character builder, it's a social thing where some of my best childhood memories were on these tournaments and being to interact with teams and just learning lessons through that. So that's kind of how it started in Texas, playing basketball.
So it's been like years since your passion and love for basketball. You have brothers or sisters?
So I had a brother that played, and I had an older sister that was a cheerleader in our lives. So yeah, she was always recording, she was always cheering. Shout out Eileen and my brother Will for
what
sure.
What a beautiful circle, right?
Yes.
It's such a support system.
Yes.
Definitely a support system.
Yes, and that's how we grew up. And then as that kind of evolved, I did play really well. I played varsity my freshman year, and then that was kind of our life. is that, when's Jen's basketball game or tournaments, my dad ended up coaching our club team.
Wow.
And so it was definitely a family affair. So I had a good blueprint and model of what a basketball family looks like.
Oh, wow.
So it definitely translated to what my family dynamic looks like now with me and my husband and my boys. Like everywhere we go, everyone's like, that's the basketball family.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And so definitely you transmitted that to your children as well. They all play then?
Yeah. Yes. So my older son is in the Philippines right now playing college basketball.
Oh, wow.
And then my younger son, Jax, is a sophomore at Liberty High School.
Okay.
So they're both playing as well. And then we're very active, again, in this recreational league. It's almost like this cult. I want to say.
A nice cult.
Yeah, a very nice cult. But you know how you see like bikers and different groups that kind of always meet in the same place at the same time, like clockwork. These guys are in the gym every single day of the week playing rec leagues.
Yeah.
And so we actually have a family team when Jace is here, but James, Jackson, me, we all play together. And so it's kind of like our family game night. Some people play board games or watch movies. We play basketball.
Oh, wow. I love that.
Yeah.
I wish I had that sports person. And I love that. That's what I love the most about this, because I am completely the opposite of you, okay? I'm the artist side, okay? I am like, I don't know nothing about sports, and I'm willing and open to learn.
Yeah.
But you're not going to see me playing, okay?
No, that's okay.
It's going to be funny if you see me playing.
I would love to see you play.
We can do that. How about you dance and I play? How's that?
Deal.
It's on.
Deal. Oh,
you saw that. I love that, because it's definitely, to me, is a completely different world that I didn't even know I needed, and that I was going to be exposed this way. So let's talk about stereotypes, because you said that you started playing whenever you were young, right? So, but you and I are not like super tall people, right? So, and usually whenever you talk about a basketball player, you think about a very tall person, and usually men. So we already talk about how it is to be a woman, right? But how about the height?
Yeah. So again, to the fact that, yes, I am only 5 foot. I might be 5'1" on a good day, 5'3" with some really good heels on.
Maybe Sundays.
But yeah, that there is this visual that you don't pass an eye test, and that there's already a barrier that's created. So yeah, that's definitely something too for me, that whenever I played, or even right now, I hope that whenever, shorter or minority women, Asian Americans look at me and they see what I'm doing, they go, I can do that too.
Okay, that's beautiful. That's beautiful, because my daughter is my tiny petite girl, and I always told her that there is magic about everything you have in you.
Yeah.
And being shorter than the norm, it's not something that is going to play against you. Actually, it could be your superpower.
Absolutely.
And I'm sure that brings a lot, like you're faster.
Yeah.
Right? You're faster than tall people.
Yes.
So.
And I'm very hard to defend. I will say that as well, because when taller people are guarding me and I'm lower to the ground, yes, they're and if I'm a little quicker, then yes, then I'll go right past you. Don't try to guard me. You can't guard
And
me.
how this journey has been inspiring, because I've seen Jen in several events, right? The first time that I officially saw you, because I've seen you with James, but also officially saw you and get to know more about your story, was in an event that Christina put together. And I was photographing. I don't photograph events, but that day I was photographing an event. And so how are you getting into all of this? How are you passionate about sharing your story with other women, and what has been your media to do so?
So my passion, I guess, is the empowering component of it is that I don't know why, and that's why I was a journalism major. I almost felt like I love to tell stories, and I think that, as we tell stories and you write things down, like that can live forever. Through stories and what we tell each other. People pass and things happen, but if I really don't think that people actually die till the last person says your name, right? The last living person. And so if you can create a legacy through your story and through your life, in this one life and gift that God has given us, then that's powerful. and I see the power in that. And that's where that passion comes from, to want to tell as many stories as I can of the women that are doing things, because the more stories that are told, the more people that can be empowered. And so I think that's important for me as a medium, to see that and have that vision, because I see so many women, especially in this Las Vegas community, doing amazing things, not even realizing how amazing they are, right? And for you too, yes, I know that's exactly what you're doing too, and you are a muse and an inspiration for me as well. To see that there's other women that want to give other women their flowers, right? To say, you are amazing. You're doing a great job.
And
yes,
and just put them in that pedestal that we all deserve to be.
Yes, and I feel like as women too, we carry a lot, and we carry it well. But at the same time, in those moments of I'll call it vulnerability or even weakness, we need each other to uplift and encourage, and to have someone guide your hand and say, hey sis, I got you, and you're doing a great job. And that's my goal too, is to be that sis for everyone that says, like, because I feel that all the time too. Mm-hmm. Like, why am I doing this? This is so hard. What is the purpose of all of this? And so sometimes it takes someone in your blind spot to go, hey, stop focusing on the wrong things. You're doing a great work. Keep going.
And we all, as you said, we all need that little help sometimes, because we all, as women, as entrepreneurs, have those moments where it's like, oh, what am I doing? Why do I have an 8 to 5 instead of suffering in this job that is just like hard?
Right.
But then there's people like you that are highlighting other women and their stories. So there is an event coming up. Yeah, tell me about the event, dates, all the details.
Oh my goodness. So first I have to shout out Christina Brophy. She is a godsend.
Christina,
Woman of Impact. And so we are collaborating with Women of Impact. So we've done fashion shows in the past, and the whole premise was to connect women athletes with women clothing business owners, right? So the design was that women that are usually seen in their basketball clothes would have the opportunity to express themselves through fashion, and maybe another personality they may have, because we only see them in their basketball clothes, right? You think about Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese and all these, powerful women basketball players, that when you see them off the court, they're beautiful women. Not that they're not beautiful in their basketball clothes, but you get to see them in another light and how they present themselves. So we wanted to take it a step further. And when I was thinking and being able to be a part of Christina's amazing Women of Impact events, I thought, how can we make this bigger? And so Christina's name got put on my heart, and I reached out to her and told her, God's telling me, like, we need to do this together. Because you have this amazing organization. I have this group of women too. And again, through collaboration, I think things could be bigger and better, and more empowering and encouraging for more women.
And what are the details of the event? Date, location, what can people expect? Is it free?
Yes. Okay. So it's actually a 2-day event. So that's even a newer thing too that I'm doing, and another bigger task. But so on day 1, so that's Friday, March 21st, we are going 6 to 9 at the downtown Container Park. We're calling it now kind of like a fashion show empowerment walk, because not only are we taking some of these women business clothing owners, but we're going to have like cancer survivors, domestic violence survivors be able to walk the stage and kind of tell her story of overcoming. And so not just through fashion, but their life experience. And so there'll be the opportunity to network. So we're going to have a pop-up as well. We're inviting any small women business owners to come have a space table at the Container Park. So definitely a night to collaborate, network, find out about other people's businesses, and how they can support each other. Because I know I've mentioned this before, that again, as a woman business owner, you risk everything, right? To step out of that, to pursue your dream and your passion. And I'm a firm believer, where you choose to spend your dollar is where you choose people's success. And not a lot of people have that mindset. And so I want those women in my league to adopt that, to say, hey, if you're going to support, any business, it should be a women business, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And especially a local small business, because that's, support somebody's dream, have a purpose behind that dollar that you're spending, not just at Target, not that those, I don't want to start name dropping big company names because I love
Which
Target.
also deserve, to have your money sometimes.
Yes, for sure. But at the end of the day, right, if I can get this same product and support this woman and her family and her dream, why wouldn't we want to do that? And I don't think that it's they don't want to. There's just a lack of awareness for it. And so with these events, that's my goal and my hope is to raise that awareness and say, hey, your dollar is powerful and it does support another woman in her dream, and the link that can go for that woman, so.
It's going to be amazing. I already know it. First of all, everything you do is amazing. Second of all, you bring in Christina, who's also amazing. Mm-hmm. And then the fact that you always give to the community, it's going to come back, it's coming back. So is there any cost for business owners to be there?
So there is a cost. There's a vendor fee for to be placed inside the container park. It's a $50 vendor fee for your table.
It's a write-off.
And it's still it's a write-off. You're doing your marketing. And so that's going to happen on Friday. On Saturday, and I'm really excited about this, we are having a women's all-star game. And so my vision for that is that there are a lot of amazing women basketball players that have, some kind of high resume, whether they played collegiately, semi-professionally, overseas, or even in the WNBA. Now they are giving back to the community through coaching, through skills training, through camps, and they're active in the community still in sports.
Save the date. So save the date because this is going to be amazing. Maybe you will see me modeling there. You never know. Did you know that I used to be a model?
I didn't, but I'm not surprised. I think everyone should heart and like and comment that Jackie needs to be a model.
Maybe I'll go back to my roots.
Yes.
But I'm very excited about everything that is happening for us and what is happening for also the women that you're going to be highlighting that event. It's going to be amazing. I know that. So one last thing, I want to officially invite you to the Women's Business Campaign. I want you to be part of the 2025. I heard your story, and definitely what I like of what we are all doing is that we are sharing and really empowering and really highlighting and amplifying the voices of people like us, right? Normal people like us that are entrepreneurs, that had a dream, that went for it. So I want to officially invite you to the campaign 2025. I am not going to let you say no.
Okay. Well, then, yes.
Okay. So you're going to see this beautiful face as well. I know there's a lot of people that say, well, there's already books doing that, and but why not more, right? Absolutely. Why not? And I'm sure that every single one of the projects that are doing this are definitely doing it their very own version, right? Mm-hmm. And in your case is the sports version, right? Mm-hmm. In my case is Women Entrepreneurs of Las Vegas, but with a touch of art because I'm a photographer. So there's so different versions of this. Yes. So one last thing you would like to say? No last thing. Hold on. No last thing, because we're going to see her more, right. But for this podcast.
I guess for today first, thank you. For who you are, what you do. You are an inspiration and amazing soul, and I'm blessed, to have crossed paths with you, and I'm excited for the future. And also, I guess just in general, like stay steadfast in what you do and who you are. I had a huge challenge, like I said, growing up as an Asian American in Texas. I felt a lot of tension and even like racism. And so I started to like try to be more this, or how can I be less Asian, and all of these other things that I started to create a negative narrative in my own mind. And so really just be who you are, right? And step into that and own it, and be proud of it always, because I have these affirmations that I say to myself all the time, every single day, multiple times a day. But I say, I'm a warrior, I'm a light, I'm a wife, I'm a queen, I'm confident, I'm courageous, I'm a loving mother, I'm a daughter of the living king. And I always have that as my anchor and encourage everyone to have some affirmation and a circle of community that you can plug into to continue to support each other. So
That's beautiful. I'm going to learn those affirmations. I believe I don't have one affirmation, but I'm going to affirm you right now that everything that you say in your affirmations is completely true. So I am a witness of that. And I love this. I love and thank you for letting me be part of this, be part of your journey somehow. And you know that this is your space. And I know that this is going to be very big for both of us and also for the people that come into our life. So I'm very excited. This was Jen Gonzalez. You're going to see more of her. And I'm Jaqueline Andrea. We'll see you guys in the next episode of the She Means Business Master Society podcast. Thank you for listening the She Means Business Master Society podcast. We will see you in the next episode.